for the sun to rise. It's starting to come up. There's my pumpkin plants, the 3 amigos that are starting to grow. Checked my sugar pumpkins. They have not sprouted yet. But there's one pumpkin. It's trying to turn color. It's doing a weird color thing. This is the pumpkin that I manually pollinated. So that color is looking pretty darn good right there. And then we still got a little baby one in here, right there. I apologize for being dark, but I like to come out in the morning. There's tons of little frogs and toads out here jumping around, and you get to hear all the crickets and the birds. And I come out, it's cooler. There's one of my pumpkins. And I do have the one here, which is hilarious because it's growing on the fence right there. And it's a big one. If you can see it, it's right there. It's a pretty big pumpkin. Flowers start to pop. Just around sunrise, they start to pop out. Within a half an hour, there'll be bees all over here. But you can check out that is just such a beautiful pumpkin right there. It really is. And then we got this one here. And I also call these the 3 amigos. And you got those 3, that one right there. So they're all doing really well. This one just keeps running. I don't know where it's running to or from, but, and if you look in there, nice flowering. This is probably 100 square feet, so it's probably 10 foot by 10 foot. Getting some good flowering in here. Let's see. Came in the other day. I'll have to get a couple more there. Some of the diseased leaves I hack out and toss. Tabasco's looking really good. Let me see if I can get in here. I had some. There they are. Look at the color on those Tabasco. Look at those. And then my pimentos are changing. That one there is changing color. Whoop, I'm going to take that one because it looks like it's browning up and I don't want it to rot. So I'm going to take that one inside, rinse it off, and put it in the windowsill. If you look over yonder, there's another one right there. And of course, my asparagus patch. Still doing well. Did a bunch of composting yesterday. But I think that'll be I've never had a fresh pimento. But I'm going to soon. So, but yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to look that up because these were given to me, these plants. And she was gonna throw them to her chickens, and she called me and said, hey, if you want some free pepper plants, come on up and get them. So I did. So let's go on over here. See if I can get set up. Let's see if I can get myself set up here. Turn this way. Booyah. All right. Trying to get it for the sunrise. Let me grab my coffee. Okay. Let me move this in a little bit. All right. I think that'll do. hope everybody's having a really good day. I did make a couple notes because I didn't want to forget. Just bear with me a second while I adjust this, because I want to get, if I can, as that sunrise comes up. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's been a really busy weekend. It's been a great weekend. I cannot complain. Everybody has their health and strength. And been doing a lot of cooking, a lot of harvesting. But just as a quick couple of things in the way of announcements, Monday, I think 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is basically Dallas, Texas time zone, is the easiest way to remember it. Little Texas 1200 has invited me onto his channel to do a collaboration. So I'm going to go on his channel and do a collaboration with him. Don't know what that's going to bring. I've been to his lives before. I know he does a lot of cooking with his air fryer, so that looks pretty cool. So we'll see what that entails. But I'm excited about that. I like doing collaborations. If you want to do a collaboration, just email me at okieseden@gmail.com, okieseden@gmail.com. Even if I've done one with you before, you want to do another one, or you want me to come to your channel, I'll come to your channel. Tuesday, 11 a.m., I'm doing my pumpkin bisque, my farm-to-table pumpkin bisque, which uses my pumpkin puree. I just did about 10 to 12 cups yesterday. That one pumpkin netted me probably 10 cups of puree, which was it was a big pumpkin, but it was the most I've ever gotten. And I've already tasted it. It tastes really good. It's really smooth. So I'm excited about that. And then the Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'm going to be doing a pumpkin bread with that puree. I'm excited about that because I've always used store-bought puree, and now that my garden is a functioning garden and continues to get bigger and bigger and yield more and more food, and I'm getting a freezer here hopefully this fall, I'll be able to do a lot more farm to table, which I think I'm going to do a lot of over the winter. The winter is going to be a mix of woodworking as I continue to improve the garden situation as far as trellises and trim work and borders around the bottom of the fence, fixing the fence, beautifying, and just housekeeping of the garden, prepping it for next year, because next year is going to be a banner year. I really think the garden is going to be really beautiful next year, very active, very high yielding. I think I'm going to get a lot off of it next year. But in the meantime, with everything I have coming in, I'm going to have, hopefully in the fall, I'll have cantaloupes coming in. I'll have more pumpkins coming in. I'll get as much puree in the freezer as possible. I'll do as much pumpkin breads and things like that in the freezer. And green beans, if I get in. I don't think I'm going to get many green beans. I'm growing green beans this fall more for the seeds. Oh, let's see. And then Thursday, I'm doing an interesting, I'm setting up a series, not so much a series, but a couple of videos on biscuits. People in the South really rave about their biscuits, and everybody has their own biscuit making recipe from their grandmother or great grandmother or mother or whatever. Hey chef, how you doing? Good morning. And so Tuesday is going to be bisque, or I'm sorry, yeah, Tuesday is going to be the farm to table pumpkin bisque. Wednesday will be farm to table pumpkin bread. And then Thursday, what I'm going to do, because I've been working on this idea that I'm going to make fresh biscuits. And once I do the biscuits, I'm going to have, I want to do a Thanksgiving, I'm getting ready for a Thanksgiving type themed or a harvest dinner type themed breakfast, which everybody knows in the United States when we celebrate Thanksgiving, the star of the show is turkey. So what I want to do is do a biscuit recipe, and then when we get closer to Thanksgiving, I'm going to, when I have turkey, I'm going to take the roast turkey and I'm going to brown that up in a skillet with some garlic and onion, and then I'll add a little bit of a roux, like a cream sauce, to make a kind of a gravy, like you're going to do a biscuits and gravy. And then I'm going to add some of the pumpkin puree into the roux for the gravy for the biscuits. And I also have a recipe that I've made quite a few times through the years, is my cranberry apple compote. And my cranberry apple compote will be on the side. So it's going to be, thank you, chef. It's going to be homemade, fresh, hot biscuits right out of the oven with a pumpkin puree style turkey gravy. Instead of sausage gravy like they do in the South, I'm going to do an iteration where it's going to be turkey with a pumpkin puree with a compote of apple cranberry on the side for breakfast. I'm going to do a video on that. And I'm going to do that before Thanksgiving. That way, if people want to try it, they have time to get the recipe down and get the stuff for it. So I'm real excited about that. So I'll do the biscuit Thursday, and then probably next week, I'll have some of the soup, bisque or whatever left over and puree. And that's when I'll get some, even if I had to use deli turkey for the first one, just for the recipe, just to get it down, I'll show that, and I have some cranberry left over. I'll do some I do fresh cranberries. I simmer the apples, cinnamon sugar, and the cranberries in a simple syrup until the cranberries pop, and then, melt basically into the apples and everything. And it's really good combo. I'll even post that sometime, or I'll show a video doing that. So that's going to be what's upcoming. I'm still waiting for my chives. I have my chives growing inside. I don't think we're going to get much of a sunrise today. It's overcast right now, so I'm assuming it's just going to be, it is what it is. It's just going to be, the sun will come up, and I was hoping for a nice sunrise, but another day. But I'm growing my chives inside. I created my grow box, my planter box. It's inside under the grow lights and in the window. And then I have to make 3 more boxes that are going to be 1 foot square. And then behind this here is my wood shop, my workshop. Yeah, yes, Misty, I've been trying to beat the heat, so I've been getting up like 6 o'clock, coming out in the garden and working has been my goal. But right here behind my wood shop, I'm gonna put a 3 or 4 foot tall, probably a 3 foot tall raised garden frame, and that's gonna be for my herbs. So all 4 boxes, they'll be 1 foot square. So I'll need a 2 foot by 2 foot main box out here. So in the spring, if I want to bring my herbs outside, get them some fresh sun or some light rain, I can just carry them out. I'll have handles on them, and I'll put them right here behind, it'll be right here behind my workshop, because right here, it takes the sun about 3-4 hours in the morning to get over here, which then will put them in the shade, because you don't want, herbs don't want to be out in the full sun for 10 hours in the Oklahoma heat. So I figure I can put them back here. Thank you, Misty. I can put the box back here. It'll fit all 4 of those boxes securely. So in the spring, if they want some fresh air and some real sun, I can just walk the boxes out, set them in the planter, leave them out for a day or 2. If it starts to get windy or thunderstorms, I can just bring them right back in, and that will be right behind here. So that's going to be pretty cool. Time out for some coffee here. Yes, it's a big mug. That's like a double-sized mug. This is not a paid promotion, but that place is in Oklahoma City. They do an awesome charcuterie board. It was really good. Tomorrow, I have my grandson tonight, so I'll be able to catch up on a lot of people's lives and their videos. So if you haven't seen me watch your videos in a while, it's been a really busy weekend. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Some really cool things happened. I was amazed. There are some, there's some celebrities that you always read about that are just so impossible as people, as humans, because they get their big head where they get a little fame and all of a sudden they don't want to talk to anybody. Their security is tight. They don't want to, they don't want to do charity. They don't want to help anybody. They made their money, and basically the heck with everybody else. But I'm going to talk about something here in a second, which was really cool. But I'm going to plant cantaloupes hopefully tomorrow afternoon. And then I'm going to plant hopefully 2 or 3 pumpkins from my seeds that have dried from my original pumpkin that I cut up and used in my original pumpkin pie. Those seeds are now dry, and I'm going to plant a couple of those and see how they do growing through the fall. Please like the live. If you haven't liked the live, please double tap your screen. I would really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it. If you want to do a live, email me at okieseden@gmail.com, collaboration in the subject line. If you've done a collaboration with me before and you'd like to do another, or you have a second channel and you want to do a collaboration with that channel, I'm all down with that. I love doing the collaborations. I've loved them. They've been great. You can come to my channel if you want. I'll go to your channel. So let me just, this is not a paid promotion. I'm not trying to send anybody anywhere on anybody's page. But by now, it's been on for, I think this is the 17th season. Has anybody here ever seen Swamp People? Swamp People is a show based in Louisiana, and they hunt alligator. And the father is Troy, and one of the sons is Jacob. And those are 2 of the main characters on the show. I have mentioned my grandson in the past. I don't go into the whole condition. I don't go into the whole backstory all the time, but I do have a special needs grandson that I help take care of. My wife and I help take care of and do therapy with and babysit. And I'm going over there tonight. I babysit him one night a week. Anyways, those 2 guys, Troy and Jacob, were in town for a Cajun Fest in the city up the road from us. It's only about 20-25 minutes away. And it's for charity. They do a big charity event. This is the 12th year. And my grandson, the one show he always took to, he likes to watch and he smiles, is Swamp People. Last year for Halloween, we dressed him up as an alligator hunter. So he was in his stroller. He's got a little alligator stuffed toy. He's got an alligator hunter hat, and it was just a whole big thing. Anyways, my son found out that they were going to be in the city up the street here at their Cajun Fest. And because it's a charity event, my son saw it on Facebook. He he went online, he went on Facebook to the person that does the marketing for it and said, hey, our son has this condition, and your show is the only one he ever really reacted to. And he likes alligators when they take him to the zoos and stuff. He loves the alligator pit. He loves having them they'll bring him up to the window for him. And it's a thing about alligators. You know, they reached back out to my son. So here they're a very successful show. 17 seasons. They reached back out to my son and said, okay, so this past Friday, August 1st, at the Cajun Fest, we got to meet them at the main building. The publicist, the lady that sets it up for this area, and the father and the son from Swamp People. And they said, we'd love to meet your grandson. You bring him up. It starts at 5. You have him here at 4 o'clock. Nobody's gonna bother us. You come to the building. They're gonna escort us in. We met down the street at one of the buildings. They told us where to go. The publicist came down in her car because there was a big police presence and they had barricades. You know that she came down there. She was a lady of her word. She drove down, got out, told us follow her. We pull in. There's the police. She pulls up, tells her who she is, points at both our cars. There was a whole lineup of cars. And they just waved us through, then put the partition back up. We went to the building, and do you know, we walked in that building, and it was Troy, Jacob, the publicist, and 2 or 3 other people that they work with. That was it. He was the only, hi, Mrs. Paula. My grandson was the only person they did that for. Just because my son reached out and told them. So, we brought his alligator. He had they always, because of Louisiana, because of the way they talk in Louisiana, when they shoot the alligator or whatever, he says, shoot him. That's the way they speak. So my grandson has one of their shirts that says, shoot him, Troy. So we have that shirt. He has that shirt. And he had his little alligator hunter hat on. And they ushered us right into the room with Troy and Jacob from Swamp People. Here, these 2 guys, they don't have to do this. They're celebrities. They have this successful 17-season show. They have signings all over the place. They have lines just waiting. And they walked over immediately to my grandson and made a big deal, talking to him down on his level. They signed a shirt for him right there. They signed a hat for him. They signed his shirt for him. They had a merchandise thing for him. They gave him a hat. They gave him, no lie, a real alligator head that they had somebody do, whatever, taxidermy. He actually has a real alligator head, taxidermy. They signed. And then they asked if they could sign, he's got a little, we call it his swamp puppy. It's a little alligator. It's a stuffed animal. He loves it. It's very soft. They turned it over, and they both autographed his toy for him. So I just got to say, I've met celebrities before. I've met NFL players before, many through the years. Half the time, they don't want to talk to you. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Man, these 2 guys, and their publicist and everything, they just open arms, man. We walked in. We were there for probably half an hour, 40 minutes. And we ended up leaving because we wanted to get to the event, and we knew they were going to be busy. We didn't want to overstep because they were already so kind about it. They were in no rush. They talked to us. They talked to me. They talked to my son and daughter-in-law, my wife. They kept talking to my grandson. We were joking and laughing for half an hour in there with them. They were not trying to push us out the door. We ended up saying, we know you guys are busy. We don't want to overstep. And the best part, they have boxes of merchandise. And you're not going to, I could not believe this. We were laughing. They have boxes of merchandise in the room where we were. And they were going to take that because they were doing meet and greets up at the Cajun Fest. Troy and Jacob. Hey, Nicola. The father and son from that TV show. Okay, take care. See you later, Paula. They carried their own boxes of merchandise out to their truck. They didn't have an entourage. They carried the boxes of shirts, hats, everything out to their own truck. Crazy stuff. But anyways, I just wanted to let everybody know that that was Friday. So that was a huge thing for us and for him. We were so happy. He needed a win, and that was a win. The TV show he likes to watch, and he got to meet the 2 stars of the show. And the best part about it was he loved it. He knew they talked to him. He smiled when they talked to him. They said they're, chewed him and got to get after it, the way they talk on the show. You got to watch the show. It's hilarious. And that was them. They were in blue jeans, just a regular old shirt. It was hilarious. And they were like they were on the show. And they were friendly and they were kind. They were not in a rush. They were just signing stuff. They talked to us, asked us questions. They interacted. It was just awesome. So that was really cool. But that's enough about that. But just if I would recommend that show just because of the kindness of those guys. What they did for my grandson, we were in awe, literally in awe. So how's everybody doing today? What's everybody cooking today? I know Chef said she's got a couple videos I have to catch up on. Nicola, I saw you just posted one a little while ago. I think it was eggplant parmesan. I was gonna watch it. I saw how it was about 20-25 minutes or so. And I decided I was gonna watch it tonight because I was gonna do the live here and I wouldn't have time. So I'm going to watch your eggplant parmesan video later. I'm doing bisque on Tuesday, a live bisque on Tuesday at 11. I'm doing pumpkin bread live Wednesday at 11. And then I'm doing biscuits on Thursday at 11 if possible. And then I'm trying to knock a few out because it might be a little bit before I can do a live cook with what's coming up next. So I just wanted to get a few under my belt. So stay tuned. That's all going to be yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good. I'm real excited about seeing it. Yep, I know Misty's going to do some stuff, and I know I can't remember if Spongy just released one or not, or had one that I think she posted a thing that she's going to be doing. Misty, is that right? I think she posted she's going to be working on one. Oh, I got my free hat. Got my new free hat. Got that at the Cajun Fest. Today, lunch, I made salmon pasta. Oh, good. Squash. Cool. Cool. Yep, I apologize for the lack of sunrise this morning. I really thought I was going to have a killer sunrise. Yeah, I'm not going to be on for much longer. I was really hoping for the sunrise. Had a good one the other day. I've been having some really, really good ones. Here's a premiere. Okay, premiere for Tuesday. Good. Yeah. Okay, yeah, her premiere is like 1 or 2 o'clock or something. I should be able to make that because my bisque won't take that long. Bisque doesn't take long. I already have the puree all ready to go, so. Yeah, Superstar, that's right, Superstar. It would have been better if I had a sunrise behind me. Man, the other day it was pink, some of the clouds, and it reflected all of the sun. And today it is just struggling. It's cloudy and overcast. We had some rain yesterday. We had a thunderstorm Friday and Saturday, which was great because the garden needed it. So I'm hoping I should have my sugar pumpkins up this week. I'm planting cantaloupe this week. I'm planting the second growing of of pumpkins that I dried the seeds from my first pumpkin. So I'm gonna regrow some pumpkins. So hopefully they will take, and I'll have some successful second generation pumpkins, which then I can take the seeds from that for next year. Really trying to keep seeds in stock, because next year in the spring I'm going to see if people want some. Maybe I could send some people some seeds. I'll just put them in an envelope, and if I get your address or something, if you want to try some of my seeds, I'd be more than happy to send them for free. I'll just send you 20 or 30 seeds in a little package and see how that goes. But yeah, excuse me. The garden is changing every day, because every day I'm either moving pallets, I'm putting stakes in to help the runners for my pumpkins, I'm weeding, I'm cultivating, I'm moving pallets, I'm removing plants, adding plants. So it's in a constant state of flux, which is what I wanted, because I want to constantly have food growing early. I want them in mid-growth, and I want to harvest. So when the stuff I harvest is done, I can replant. A couple weeks later, the stuff that was midway will be harvesting soon. The stuff that started will be harvesting after that. And I just keep rotating all season long, so I constantly have fresh vegetables. So like I don't load the whole garden up in one shot and everything's all over the place. I stagger grow, like I call it. I do some here, wait 2 weeks, plant some more, 2 or 3 weeks, plant some more. Then I'm always harvesting fresh vegetables from, March all the way through November is how I like to do it. Because I'm already in the garden anyways, and I always found it was easier to, pick 10 or 15 cucumbers and eat them and cook with them, versus I don't do a lot of canning. So I don't need to have that one huge harvest. I eat the stuff immediately. So, I'll eat off of the 2 weeks worth of food, and then more. And then the next month I'll do more, I'll eat more. And it's always fresh. And that's how I like my food. So, but anyways, I think I'm going to end this here, because I do want to get in the garden and do some work. I got to get some stuff moved around. I got some weeding to do. And once it dries out, I got to get some mowing done. But again, I have my grandson tonight for babysitting, so I will be watching. I'll be watching your videos tonight. I have 3 options to stream at my son's house, so I can watch 3 different people. So I do that every time I have my grandson. So you guys all have a great day. Thanks for being here for my live, and hope to see you guys Monday night with Little Texas. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm doing some quick live cooking videos. So you guys all take care. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing your videos, and I'll see you in the next one.